Hi, guys. So, this week truly has started in such a place that I had to take a step back. Okay, so I'm going to be doing two videos today. So, I will drop them both. One, my goal is to get it up by 12, so now. And the other one, I will do my best to get up by 3 today. But anyway, all of that being said, today's video is supposed to be my soundboard. And this is for my married couples. This is for my women that are in a position of defining the ups and downs of marriage, right? What does that look like for you? How does that affect you when it comes to expressing yourself within marriage? And I chose this topic because this is something I can say that me and my husband struggle with. Not to put all our business out on Front Street, but just to be honest, when it comes to expressing oneself, you are testing the boundaries of the person you're talking to. That's not always a bad thing because you need someone in your corner sometimes to tell you, like, hey, that's too much of what you have going on. And I need help either better navigating it or I need to separate myself because I'm taking on too much of it. So when it comes to being my soundboard, I have this intense desire to be more vulnerable with my husband, to share certain things with him, or be a certain version of myself that the world may not know, or that even my friends may not know. And it gets to the point where I have noticed that I have put everything on him, right? I am completely vulnerable. I'm completely open with him. Now, that's not saying like, oh my God, I can't be myself with my husband. No, but it is saying there's a difference between a soundboard to where someone like, look, I just need to vent. I need to open up. I need a moment to just say something. And someone that is your therapist. Okay. I am not here to be this version of myself with my husband that he feels like he cannot win. We are not here to be the versions of ourselves that is always unhealed, right? I don't think that's the word. That is not healed, that needs a lot of structure, that needs rebuilding, that always needs some type of reassurance. We have to get to the point where we understand, like, okay, is this a moment where I just need him to sit there and listen? I need him to just understand what I'm going through because it relates to something that we are constantly battling? Or is this something internal that I truly need to deal with because it keeps happening? It keeps being an issue. It keeps being something that I need my partner or spouse to take care of for me, or to listen, or to secretly validate without me having to say I need him to validate it. That is something that I think is major. And it may not be major in everybody's marriage. I can't tell you like, oh, you need this because you're married. But I can say for me, as someone that is new to this, that is new to experiencing someone that is not like me, that is new to someone that is clear on what their emotional boundaries are, it's very difficult to understand the two. It becomes more of pick my battles, pick the issues that you're going to talk about today, as opposed to, damn, you might be insecure. And that's okay, but that's not his problem all the time, right? It's not like he's causing these reasons for me being insecure. I'm just insecure. I need to figure out why I'm insecure. I need to figure out how I can be more confident so this issue doesn't bleed into my marriage and make my husband feel like he has no winning battle every day. That's not on him. So when I talk about this topic, I really want us to focus on what are the ups and downs? What is something that actually plays a part in marriage? And what are the things that we contribute through baggage, through trauma, through just lack of self-awareness? Okay. So the ups. Of course, every marriage is going to have those times where you're able to just communicate. You're going to have great times. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we had a spat, we had a disagreement, but we were in such a good place that we were able to work through it. Doesn't always happen that way, right? But in those moments, it's not to say do not chalk them up to being a good moment or a win for your relationship. However, a big thing that I'm focusing on now in this season is what are we doing in the downs? What are we doing when things are not okay, when we're not able to communicate, when we're not able to see eye to eye? And that is where the importance of our ups comes in. For me, I can say me and my husband, and again, I'm just sharing sharing little details. Me and my husband are very good at being self-aware. Okay, so we are very self-aware within our own cubicles, right? It's the merging that ends up being very tricky for a lot of us. But we're very both self-aware. So when we have conversations or disagreements, a lot of the times we're able to identify what we truly meant, the things that we did to come across a certain way, and where we were hoping for something to go, right? So the conversation. In most cases, we can talk about, sorry guys, I'm working. In most cases, we can talk about those things after the fact. However, like I said, the downs is usually the midst of a situation. Being able to identify when we're triggered, being able to identify what is going to escalate a situation, being able to identify this is just not my topic, right? So I have that. When it comes to normal conversations, we may be talking about politics, we may be talking about family stuff. And I get to the point where I'm not necessarily irritated, but I'm overwhelmed with all the information that's coming at me, or I'm overwhelmed with the passion I have for the topic. So I know this probably ain't my conversation. I'm not going to turn a simple debate or a discussion into an argument because I'm incapable of checking myself, right? So we have this. That is our foundation. I can say that is probably one of the best things from our ups that we discovered to implement in our downs. However, our downs can take over. And this is where we have to understand the difference between sounding board and, I promise you, these alarms are going to be the death of me. This is where we're going to have to reevaluate a sounding board versus trauma issues, things of that nature, because there are going to be different impacts, right? So again, for us, when it comes to those downs, we can say this is a moment for a sounding board, right? Hey, I know I've done this, this, and this, but this is how it made me feel. I don't need you to fix it. I don't need you to try and correct me right now because I've already corrected myself. This is what I'm working on. This is how I want to provide a solution for next time. I just need a minute for you to hear how this situation made me feel. But the trick is, it's vice versa as well. You said your piece, but that was another person in that situation that also was affected by how this situation occurred. So being able to be a sounding board for that person, once you had your moment, that is going to be very important. So when we flip it and we talk about the downs, right, how it affects our moments of trying to be up, trying to re-engage with our partner, we have to discuss the things that truly trigger us. It's usually baggage, right? So we carry around experiences from other people, from ourselves that we put ourselves in, and we say, we're never going to deal this again. We're never going to experience it. We're never going to allow people to put us in that situation. And that's fine. You can have boundaries, but there is a moment where boundary goes into baggage. You are carrying it around because you think that this is the only outcome that can come from this scenario. And you miss out an opportunity to learn more about yourself, to learn about the partner you're with, because they may handle that situation completely different. And again, you've missed out. So here you are putting yourself in this position because you're carrying around the weight of something from the past, and you never know. I'm going to keep it simple. Okay, I'm afraid of heights. I am afraid of heights because I used to go rock climbing with my father, and my dad is very particular. He likes things to be done. If you say you want to do it, we're going to do it. So I'm afraid. I'm climbing halfway up. Nope, don't want to keep going. I want to get down. No, keep going, right? Running a 5K with my father growing up. You want to do this? We're going to do it. Let's go. Run. Let's do this. No, I'm done. So for me, I don't want to do, no, I don't want to experience heights again. No, I don't need to run. I don't want to do it. No, I'm going to do it by myself if I do it ever, because I'm not going to have someone tell me what my limits are. Very simple, right? Trauma triggered baggage, carrying it around, but it hinders me. It hinders me from being able to work out and get out in nature and try and do the things that are going to better my health, because here I am now afraid of something that might actually bring me a better body, right? And even adding to the rock climbing aspect, I actually enjoyed it. I took my siblings years later. Did I go very far? No, but I had a blast. So again, we are allowing these opportunities to slip away because of some assumption we have in the back of our head saying this is the only outcome that will ever happen. No, avoid, 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 caution. And that's okay. But the difference here, and I can use this as an example, is telling your partner that you will never do something again, or this is why you are the way you are, instead of, you know what? I react this way because of the situation, but this is how I want to change it, or this is what triggers me to the point where I am incapable of adjusting, are two different things. And a lot of the times we expect someone to be in the soundboard position because we don't want to change. We want them to take on everything that comes to mind, our behaviors, our reactions, our words, because we don't want them to tell us, I listened, now what are you going to do about it? Right? We want them to listen and take us for whatever the hell we are throwing at them. And we don't realize that everyone around us has boundaries. We don't realize that everyone around us has expectations of their own, have baggage and trauma of their own. And it's very difficult for us to expect that of them and not be able to take it in return. So that is the first topic for today. Soundboard, defining the ups and downs of marriage. Tell me what you think in the comments. Bye.